Okay, so this video is going to be a continuation of the animations that we started on Tuesday. So the last one that we did was the constant pulse, and so now we're ready for the underline me. So I'm going to go into the CSS, and I'm going to scroll down to where the animated underline work starts. And I have it starting on line 162. There is CMN-T-underline and CMN-T-underline : hover. There is a position of relative, and we have to have something like that when it comes to telling an object exactly where it needs to be. And it's relative to where it is within the HTML and within the browser window. So we need this because we're going to add a box that animates underneath this when we roll over, and then animates back out when we roll out. And this is a little tricky because it's not the same as just putting a line underneath it, or how we use when we roll over links. There's a line that automatically shows up. This is slightly different. Because of that, we have to use a new pseudo class we haven't really looked at before, and it's called after. So I'm going to put the after class directly after the normal state. So I'm going to put my cursor on line 166, and I'm going to type in dot CMN-T underline colon after space open parenthesis close parenthesis. Okay, so the after pseudo class says that this needs to load after the original loads. But it also means that it can come after the normal piece of information. We use the after class to add elements when we've already taken elements off, or to add an element that later is going to be changed out using JavaScript. So there's a couple different reasons why we might want to use the after and before pseudo classes. Okay, so all of the lines of CSS that we're going to put in here is going to create a short little thin box that's going to go underneath the word underline me. So first I'm going to put display, block, position, absolute, left, 0, bottom. Now bottom is tricky because I want it to go underneath where the underline me is. And since this is basically the same class but under, and we've made the position be left, it's going to start right here, right at the edge of the U for underline me. And I don't want the box to start right on top of the words. I want it to go underneath the words. So I'm going to put -10 pixels. I want the width to be 0. This is what we're going to change in the hover state. So when the user rolls over, we're going to change the width, making it look like it's kind of growing. Height, 10 pixels. That's what makes it look like a line. It's going to be very, very short. We put in a background color, and we want it to match the text, and we're going to make it match the rollover text color, not the normal text color. So we're going to do the 98004A. Now we have to put in content, because whenever we use the after before pseudo class, we have to put in the content that's going to be in there. Now, lots of times it's just going to be two quotes like that, meaning that we have to use the content command so that the browser can place whatever it wants to place in there. So lots of times we'll have it blank so that we can place whatever we want to in there later. Sometimes you'll have an element in there like if you're going to have a special character, or I've seen sometimes a special icon. So there might be times where there's something in the quotes, but right now we're just going to have it blank. And then we need to animate it using the transition command, and we're going to say all space 0.2 seconds, and we'll go ahead and just do the ease semicolon. Okay, so that is all creating the initial box. Now we need to make what it's going to look like when we roll over. So I'm going to put my cursor after the CMN-T-underline : hover, and I'm going to put dot C MN-T underline : hover : after. Again, it's going to be after because it's still going to be in basically the same square or the same space as the word underline me. And all we're going to do here is add the width to be 100%. So it's going to be 100% of the content area that it's in. Then I'm going to go ahead and save that. Go into my example and click or roll over the underline me. So you can see that the color matches the words, and the line itself is only as wide as the content in the original class. So for me, that underline is a little too thick for the font. I would either make the font thicker, or I would go into my CSS and make the height smaller, maybe 5 pixels. It's a little bit better. It's a little far away. And it's still a little far away. I think I would do 2. It's better. All right, so that is the animation for underlining. And basically all we did is created a box in the same class using the after pseudo class and just made it grow in width when we rolled over it. So I'm going to stop there and make a video for each of the rest of the little animations.